Exactly. This is what I
Yeah.
am trying from my side. See, that is what just people are saying that go to the investors, go immediately go to the investors, go to. So no, 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 it's not that one. We need to understand why we are trying to make sure that government should understand what they are missing.
Yeah.
It's what they are missing. So we can pull it to the like private investors or somewhere. But the thing is that it will tag to particular school of chains, school like one big schools. It's
Yeah.
happened to that one. But the thing is that yes, for me, a revenue point of view, or valuation point of view, it will go to the big number. There's no doubt about it. But the thing is that the purpose, what I'm trying to do is that maybe it's not survive. Why I'm sitting in the rural place to understand, to make sure that everyone should get a good education and good earnings. Yes, education and after that earnings. For me, earnings is a different aspect. Earning is that what I feel is that job is not earning. Someone they are doing some product and revenue, generating the revenue is earning for me. So they do self employment. Self employment. They need to do something to the market, and they should if they earn something, that is the earning for me. Then going with the jobs. Why? Because recently Elon Musk is saying that there will be no jobs. There no one will work. So they will. There is no currency. They will share the products. I have this product. You have this product. They will share the products. This is how it should happen. So the thing is that why I'm sitting in the rural and making understand. Say some people here in our area, the people who got 90% still didn't get a job. Why? Because the people there's a lot of gap. What the real market is expecting, what they are studying, is a totally different. They're getting the marks. Why? Because they are going through the concept, or they were mugging the things and they're getting the marks. Or some most of the people, few people are intelligent. They are writing for each and every answer. It's good. But the textbook knowledge, what is the textbook knowledge? Up to what level is market is expecting only the textbook knowledge? Now, I think everyone is expecting the real time knowledge rather than textbook knowledge. So real time knowledge, updating the textbook is very difficult part now to change all these things I have touched. So I want to make sure that why can't we make it as a digitalized and notebooks? Why can't we make the notebooks as digitalized things? So based upon this, we can make the things very better. So everyone will know. I said you right. We need a mentor for 15 people. One mentor. Now for my Oslate is a mentor for each and every kid. It's not only mentor for a kid, and mentor for a student, and assistant for a teacher. It will say to the teacher, so this guy is facing this problem. So maybe probably what you can do is that teach this topic in a practical way or role play way or show some video. It will give the assistant to the teacher how to teach the things. It's really helpful for the people who are not trained in a teaching field.
That's another side of the story, right? Where sometimes I know a couple of friends, they didn't get anything after engineering, as you said, 80-90%. They went to MTech. Then after MTech, they couldn't find anything, suitable for their skills or their interest. So they had to pick up something as assistant professor as a side job, right? They're not trained teachers, by the way. They have the skill sets in terms of explaining a concept to the people, but they're not trained teachers. Teaching is a profession for a reason. It has its own methods. It dealing with different
Absolutely.
people, right? Making a concept clearer. But I don't, underestimate my friends who took up teaching jobs also, because they are good at what they do. They understand the concepts well. They're able to articulate it well. But also there is other side where students has to relate to the teaching style of the teachers, because not all students can grasp a concept with one line. Not all kids will be interested if we stretch a concept over 10 pages, right? So each kid's grasping power is different. Their motivations are different to learn a concept, right? You have to motivate them in a right way. Some kids get motivated if you praise them. Some kids, if you give them something. Some kids just want to, they are, wake up in the morning motivated to learn new things, right? So it's all different things that drive, but you bring up an interesting aspect of the other side of the story where teachers getting taught, right, how to adopt, right? I think that's an amazing thing. Yeah, I think that's where I saw, huge potential. And that's where I wanted to ask, even in the audience, right? Your product is so slate, you can look it up on a private limited. See, this is something very neat for the stage that we are in, or even when we were in college and schools, because if this was there, probably India's literacy rate would be much higher. That is the impact that I see your product can bring, because yeah, personalized learning is something very important. Imagine if somebody has a O-Slate or whatever Badri has developed here, right? Imagine if your education ministry or education, whatever the policymakers within your governments are, they're able to, they already have your all answer sheet that you have filled out from Jan, or let's say from your kindergarten till your intermediate or PUC or 12th standard. Even after your engineering, they have all your answer sheets. But if you add a solution that you can go look back and said how you progressed and navigated your academics, and you can see where you are, those friends who dropped out from college, schools, or high school, you're able to see that they didn't get personalized learning on mathematics, right? Or personalized learning on English, because English definitely is a big challenge. I've seen multiple times. When I was growing up, I had a challenge until when I was in engineering to communicate in English, because frankly, we never speak in English, right?
There is one
So,
more concern for me. Why?
uh,
Because I want to tell this one. I want to avoid this complete keyboard.
yes,
I don't want keyboard. Why?
I hear.
Because the keyboard. Why we need a keyboard? The complete keyboard is completely in not my mother tongue. I need to
Yeah.
learn the English for that one. So second thing, if you go for Japanese or Chinese or Russia or even Arabic, you will not go fall in the English trap. But it's a one of the luckiest thing. So that's why we are in a global market and software
Yes.
industry. We are in top in the software industry.
Yes.
So that is one of the luckiest thing. But stop. This luck is more than enough for us
It's
to
like
make
double-edged
sure.
sword, right? Right? It
Exactly.
has a benefit on other side. It was disadvantages on other side.
We are trapping into the world of the English world and English keyboard. Depending upon that is the one reason why I like to say that iPad, our ink writing pad is want to make sure that our traditional learning, our literature, and everything should not go off through due to the English. So if you have the writing pad like this, it will understand your mother tongue and it will translate. Again, it's the binary components. It's a binary 1010101. It's nothing as a. So if you write in English also, it will understand 01 only. It will
Yes.
not understand it's a B, C. Even if you're writing your mother tongue, it will translate to 01 only for me.
0-1.
So that is the concept. We have the writing pad now. We can write it our own. Why? Because ex, uh, express ourselves in our mother tongue is more flexible than compared to
More confident.
English.
People feel more confident,
People
you
will
know.
feel more confident. So if I want to write a mail in English, now it's a chat GPT. It gives the within 1 minute. It's a different scenario. I afraid to write a mail to the customer care and any other associates to write something. I used to go there. Even it's a
Think.
if, through mail communication. I used to go there and I speak with them rather than going writing a mail. Why? Because if I'm speaking, I can speak something and I communicate properly. That's my confidence. If I'm
Yeah.
writing something, maybe I don't know whether it is communicate properly or not. Maybe they understand sentence to sentence. It may vary, so I don't know. That was I have a lot of less confidence on writing a mail.
Yeah,
If I
that is
ask
a
something,
honest fear. Huh? That is a honest fear. If you put a graph over me sending an email when I was a fresher and the time taken to write an email, probably my graph would look like this, because initially I
exactly.
was I was so worried about what will client feel. Grammar has to be right, the technical terms should be right, whatever the position that you are explaining or delivering the status to the client should be professional. Now I am like replying with do this. Least amount of time taken. Yeah, there is chat GPT and everything. You can formalize it. That's how the graph would look. Initially, I would spend 30 minutes writing an email.
The
Now
only
it's like
email
30
communication
seconds.
itself makes me make more big gap in the communication. So
Yeah.
the thing is that if someone is asking me like explain this scenario, if I'm trying to explain the scenario, people will feel, oh wow. When I communicate the same thing in the email, people never
Yeah.
knows that one what I am doing. So
This is the curse
literally
of the
this.
industry, right? They would say if emails are too much, quick call, you know, because email is not efficient. Yeah.
Exactly. That makes me okay. Where I'm going this. So the point is that we are losing our regional languages due to this English keypad, the main proper communication in English. So now we
Yeah.
everywhere we have the translators. So I will say one thing about English communication. See, we are purely from Andhra, West Godavari, and the respect to the wording way of constructing the sentence will always makes you other people should respect. So
Yes.
we'll add something. We add something, especially in our regional like West Godavari and East Godavari. We'll add something, and we are expecting the same thing. We are not only
Hmm.
adding, we'll accept the same thing. So if you go for some area towards Rayalaseema or towards Telangana, for them it is a common thing. If say that Nenu, Miru, Miru is for our case, Nuvu is
Respect.
Miru is a respect. Miru.
Respect.
And Nuvu is singletons. If you speak in
Same.
singletons,
Same in Karnataka, right? In Bangalore, we are like Nino, right? But if you go to, suburbs of Karnataka or later down we have, even when we were growing up, we are like Nivu, right?
hmm,
Similar to that. But if you go to Mangalore side and all, they even use curse words as part of regular language
hmm,
communication, right? For them, that is
exactly.
the norm. But for us, it's an offense, right? If
We'll
you
feel
speak
offended for that.
anybody like that in Bangalore or in and around Bangalore, it's an offense.
We'll feel
I can't say these
so.
words out in podcast, but if you can look up, there
Exactly.
are some slang words which are actually curse words which are being normalized because they are used to it, right? And one of the things is
Exactly.
I used to watch a lot of Pranesh videos when I was growing up, and he explains this clearly, right? If you call somebody a curse word in and around Bangalore, it's a big, offense. When you call
Happens.
a curse word in Mangalore side or northern Karnataka side, it's like how close you are. You guys
Exactly.
are buddies, right? So that's how
Exactly.
it is. So
That's the most important. That is the why, because we came with the without curse word, and how to translate without curse word in the normal English sentence.
yes,
English sentence is very difficult. So how to give the respect in the sentences, I don't know. That's
Uh,
one thing. Why? Because without giving the respect, I can't expect the respect. That is the most fear part in
yes.
me. Also, that is a way the communication breaks me. How to give the respect, I don't know.
Yeah.
That I am
See,
unable to communicate in the right way.
this is the interesting challenge that I see how the builders in India or the people who are working towards this making LLM for Indian languages, right? I know a couple of people who are already working on it, but this is the real challenge that they have to solve, right? There are various slangs, various literature, various scripts that people follow, and even there are scriptless languages, right? For example,
Hmm.
in Karnataka, we have Tulu, right? It doesn't
Hmm.
have scripts, but it has its
Exactly.
own language, right?
Hmm.
So it's an interest.
I'm afraid about that. After 2 decades, whether what about the scripted languages also? Maybe it
Yeah.
may get vanish. So why? Because the English will dominate. So yeah,
Yes.
I will tell you. I said like that. If you mention one thing in the if I open the Chrome in incognito mode, also it is giving the adult content.
Yes. Straightforward.
That's it. The point is that I have one opinion with this US people, whether they are intentionally running the algorithms for the Indian people to make sure that they will get distracted rather than putting.
You are entering into this whole conspiracy of deep state, right? I have my own opinions on it. I'll hold it back because this will become way too controversial way too soon. Because yeah, see, as everybody knows, I'm from cybersecurity background. There are things that you call psyops, PSYOPS, psychological operations.
Exactly.
And if you look in lot of proven cases, I'm not speculating or stirring a conspiracy, internet has been weaponized, right?
Exactly.
And
As,
it
as,
can
as
be
long as,
weaponized, and there is a huge amount of influence by US tech companies. There's no hiding from it. Anybody in the tech industry knows that, right? But being cybersecurity professional, I know the dangers of those, and I've taken measures to protect my kids and people around me from always question the things, right? What you see on the internet, that's the first advice I give, right? For example, there were some articles which are pushing a opinion piece or which are pushing a triggering content, right? And everybody knows rage bait is the keyword of the year for 2025, because they want to create that rage when you read a post, right? That's when this platform get engagement. They're driven by profit, but they're also driven by, ulterior motives if needed, right? And that's where proven cases of how internet was weaponized in destabilizing, countries, or pushing a conspiracy or propaganda. They call it propaganda, right?
this is
Even a
the
simple
one.
meme, yeah, even a simple meme is used and will be used in future to push an agenda, and it's called mimetic warfare. MEMETIC warfare, right? Even memes which are harmless content, right, but can be weaponized. And that's where I always ask my friends, family, whoever forwards me articles saying, hey, look at this, I ask, who is publishing this, what is the motive for them, who is the investor in their company, right? And which country is it from? Because you need all this context to
Exactly.
evaluate what are they trying to say, right? And that's what
Convey to them.
that's where I understand. I try to educate people on, you don't look at just the front piece and make a decision. But believe me or not, in India, 95% of the people who look at internet content, they don't have this context,
Exactly. Especially
right?
when I'm
And
saying that,
yeah,
why?
good.
Because I can't do it with anyone. I can understand the process, what is going back then as a
Yes.
software guy from last 18 years and like AI algorithms how it worked from last and should last 4 5 years. I understood this thing process. So they are making it intentionally. They
Yeah.
did it intentionally. They are funding them. And so, what funding them? And the thing is that why my kid is getting the scary games live stream?
See,
I under
scary games can cause a traumatizing effect as they grow up. It's not like one time they watch, tomorrow they will forget. Kids will never
no.
forget.
Yes, that's the problem. Why is it? So? I thought that India is a has a good population with a youth.
Yeah,
Other countries don't have that one. So they targeted us. They target the youth. They want to distract the youth. They want to make sure that these people are useless in the future. Now they are paying for the YouTube. I'm not sure how long they will pay. Or they are
yeah,
going to pay 10 to 15 years. It's not a crop. We will get after 1 year. They will get revenue after the. It's not a crop. It's somewhere they need to stabilize. A lot of people will be there. Sometimes,
yeah,
and they are not generating the product. Maybe the product will sell to the some other person. No.
yeah,
Problem is that they are making the youth to attract to as an influencer and they are paying some amount. I'm sure they will get the amount for 1 to 5 years. Very good. Next 5 to 6 years, very good. After that, I'm not sure about their careers. That is,
yeah.
if they go to the business, it's a different scenario. With the influence, people are very smart. They have become the influencers. After that, they are starting a
Convert
business,
into business. Yeah.
converting into the business. It's a really good thing. So
See,
somehow they need to make sure that like
this is the hardest part in regulating big tech, right? For example, we are complaining about YouTube. This will go on YouTube. You see,
exactly.
there is no alternative platform, right? And see, if you look at as a from a Google's point of view or YouTube's point of view, see, as you said, when you open a Chrome, you'll get adult content, right? Within 5 to 10 minutes, probably. They have a plausible deniability saying, hey, this is what your region is watching. You see,
Oh, exactly.
this
Got
is
it.
this is what your algorithm is auto pay. But how long does it take to tune these things out? That's another
Yeah,
question,
last
right?
3 to 4 days, I'm trying for some 3D printing. I'm going continuously 3D printing. Still, I'm not getting a real 3D content. I'm getting this,
Man.
the trailers, the movie trailers, what happened in the movie media, all those things. Yeah, I used to do, see what I used to watch the things, but I'm continuously for past 4 5 days.
Oh,
I'm
nowadays
continuously
YouTube
watching
search
things.
is shit. YouTube search is shit. You search for something, it shows your previously watched video, something you searched previously, and everything is full of reels or shorts, right? It's very hard to find anything useful nowadays as soon as you need in YouTube because the search has gone to shit and it's unusable nowadays. I don't know when they will realize, but sooner or later somebody is going to fix this and people are going to bounce there because yeah, search
Exactly.
has gone
It's a
downhill
great
since the
process.
invent of the shorts.
My God, it's even it is showing 2 to 3. Even I've been seeing the shots of what in 3D related content. Only 2 to 3. After that, it's like going my whole away.
Yeah.
I felt, oh my God, what's going on? I'm searching for one content, and it's making me intentionally. It is also trying to divert me to the other content.
Yeah,
So
see, that's another, the whole this thing, just one example. So, one of my ex colleague and a close friend, right, he got a link on his WhatsApp for an Instagram reel. Okay. As usual, he's sitting in the bathroom. He started scrolling that link and found the reels. Okay. And he continued doing it. Okay. He spent 90 minutes in the bathroom scrolling reels and he never realized it.
that is the beauty of short
Okay.
content.
And when he started, getting up, his thighs were not responding because it was under pressure and he never realized the blood flow has been cut off, right? Or it has been
Oh my God.
squeezed. And he can't walk up to next 3 or 5 minutes because, his leg is cramped, right? The
Exactly.
biggest
The
takeaway
blood
from
circulation
this
is stopped
is
properly.
how these algorithms are, taking away your brain away from your body, right? Whether they are doing it intentionally,
Exactly.
unintentionally, profit driven, or psychological ops conducted by another state, those are all secondary. But these are effective ways that these products have tried to hijack, you
Exactly.
from the reality, right? So thankfully, I was in cybersecurity. I made those realization. This year will be my 10th year without YouTube app on my mobile. So I would call that an
Wow, super.
achievement because frankly, I can't live without YouTube. This podcast goes on YouTube, but I don't have the app. Whatever I need, I go, I m.youtube.com, right? Search, find my content, then close the tab. So there is no other way to restrict it, and there is no way to live without YouTube. That's the present reality. Whenever I need,
Exactly.
I just open up, in the browser, look at the video. It's the same video when I look it in app or in a mobile, right? They have optimized it better for mobile app, probably for not for the web browser on mobile, but still, I need whatever the
You
information
need
I
a
get,
content.
then close off,
Exactly.
right? So that's what I say. By luck or by chance, I got into cybersecurity. I was able to see this impact, and I said, "Oh my God, no, thank you." I let YouTube stay out of my period because, as you said, there is a lot of youth who are using this unknowingly. I would always encourage people to do this. Always look at the time that you spend. Nowadays, these platforms are mature enough to share like how much time are you spending on this. And one of the things I tell to most beginners or people who professional saying I can't find time. Hey, if you're spending 3 hours, which is an average, I would call it, people spend up to 10 hours on YouTube and other streaming platforms combined. Look at your mobile screens, you'll know. Spend 1 hour on learning new things. You will see magic happen in 3 years, right? I that's the same principle that I do when learning DevOps, when learning business, when learning cybersecurity, when learning AI. That is the same principle I use. Spend 30 minutes to
Even
1 hour. Within 3 years, you will be expert in the space.
exactly. This is even I so strongly oppose the people who opposing the Narayan Murthy garu. See, what he said. So you need to work for 12 hours. So, but people, how they taking this? Oh, we need to work for the Infosys for 12 hours. No, no, no. It's
Yeah.
not who's like we need to work for Infosys for do the work 6 hours or 7 hours, complete the work, and after 6 hours, work for you to make some product in future.
Yes.
Not now. If you say that learn something, you will not listen, right? So work for the learning is nothing but you need to work for some other thing which will work in the future.
Yeah.
You need to
And
do that one.
if you look at one of the things, this whole Pandora's box of working hours, now it's always trending in the India, right? Whether it should be 8, 9, or 12 hours. If you look at when I started, I was in Tech M. I never measured my hours, right? Probably it was a culture that I had, or people now they have different culture. As I said, it's all up to you whether you work 9 hours, 12 hours, 14 hours, 20 hours, right? Now, probably I'm working close to 20 hours. That's a choice that I made, right?
Exactly. The
And
choice.
I don't feel like I'm working. You see, I'm trying to
Exactly.
do something which is satisfying me, even though I'm sleeping
Exactly.
less, right?
We are enjoying the things.
That's the best part. We are not saying, or you're not saying, a work 12 hours, right? You're saying you work as much as you want, but you work on improving yourself, right?
Exactly. You need to work for
And
improving
whether you
yourself.
do it for company or whether you do it for you, because eventually that's the best investment that you're going to make. Invest in yourself. You invest $1,000 in stocks or crypto or whatever. That investment is immeasurable when you compare to personal investments that you make, right? Because your personal investments are one time and lifetime of returns, right?
Exactly.
So that is something, the principle that I make. I tend to learn something new almost every day if possible, or whenever I learn new, I try to write it down somewhere so that I can recall, because there is another thing that you learn so much you don't know what you remembered, learning,
Exactly. Most of the
right?
thing what I do is that when I learn new things, I used to express with other people, friends. If they are not
Best
interested also, if they are not
best
interested also,
best way,
I
that that is the same thing that I'm trying to do with podcast, because trying to capture that knowledge. If you look at our podcast, right, we spoke very less about your career, my career, but we spoke about what is the most important thing, how the learnings or the environment that shaped us, right? And you
exactly.
cannot document this. No way you can write down and share it with others. And that's where, when I started thinking about marketing collateral for my business that I'm doing, I thought, hey, I always feel enlightened when I speak to people. I gain knowledge, right? And it is nowhere documented. People used to always ask, how do you know this, right? When I used to say, there's psychological operations that are conducted by various nation states, or people getting influenced, right? When without knowing that their brain has been hijacked by the reels or the shorts they see, right? And there is that subconscious opinion you make based on the content you see online,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
And people don't realize it. When I start speaking to them, they're like, how did you know this? Where did you learn this? I can't recall, frankly speaking, right? Because that's where I started. Oh, I need to capture this, when I'm talking to people, so that this knowledge is documented and people get to learn. Because the reason that I'm doing or I'm professionally growing is just one 10-second video that I saw, or a gif,
Hmm.
whatever people call it, right? See, as humans, we're always, or employees, let's call it, as employees, we're always goal oriented. I was a goal oriented guy. Hey, I
Exactly.
got a task, I got it done, goal, I have achieved success.
Hmm.
The breaking point in my career was, I realized I was goal oriented. I need to be more growth oriented, right?
Hmm.
I can do this task. Hey, fantastic, job done, goal. What else I can do is what unlocked my thinking into, hey, I need to do this. I need to do this. Can I do this? Right? Because this is where personally, as a professionally or personally, I broke my horizon from cybersecurity and started doing DevOps, started doing application development. I can develop a backend application within 2 days, a complete end to end with login flow till update of database, because
Yes.
I explored into, can I do this? right?
Hmm.
I'm still not a good UI guy because I hate UI. Designing UI and front end is a horrible job, according to me. Because, oh
You are
man,
saying this one to the who is passionate about UA.
yeah, because I can't go through JavaScripts and CSS and try to fit into things. Some people really do enjoy it, but I'm not that person. I can do a complex logic on a back end and update database, improve database speeds, relationships, everything, but never. I would not in this life, pick up JavaScripts and CSS.
That
Right?
most important thing is that you should have the eyes. The people who is the UX and UA, they should enjoy the beauty.
Exceptionalize. Yeah,
Exceptional. They should enjoy the beauty. So once they enjoy the beauty, if they are seeing that they're developing one thing, they are unable to enjoy their screen, they can't do it. So
see,
the
one of the things I hate UI or UX design and front end is because I hate my designs. You know, I do something, I'm like, oh, it look like shit. No way this is going to fly,
it's
right?
even UX UI developer also feel same thing after seeing the same screen for more than 2 3 months. It's
Yeah,
looking very poor. Because,
yeah.
see, the beauty in the UX USC, the thing is that it's a,
You need to
the
constantly
logic
evolve.
won't exactly. The logic will always remain same. The whatever on top of this, it may changes. It will so the work will always be there for this.
Yeah,
Compared to backend, the work will always be there for the UX UI developer. Why? Because we will not wear the same shirt on the next day.
yeah,
We will go
true.
with a different fashion. That's the UX and UI
Probably,
is the
probably that's the reason I can wear the same shirt for 5 days. I mean, yeah, I have this. If you look at my shirt, I have same design, five different shirts because I keep those things very simple. I'm like not very much looking. Probably that's why I'm a bad UI or front end guy, right? Because I go with the
exactly.
plain and simple. Yeah,
We need to understand the creativity. So the
yeah,
most important thing, the world, whatever it may be changed, they'll always update the beauty on that one. They will
yeah,
never go with again the core functionality. They will not touch the core functionality. They
yeah,
will always try to make sure that it look more attractive according to the present scenario. Again, according to the present scenario. In our other scenario, maybe again it will change. The thing is that if you're looking for the work, if you go for UI UX, you will have continuously the work. It's the same in the
yeah,
last 15 years back. This is what I used to say to the people. If you are going this one, definitely you will have the work continuously. You will have the jobs continuously. But now after AI, it is a different scenario. Again,
yeah,
AI is also taking the role of the UI, but still it is some space is there. Why? Because the UX UI really needs the creativity
mm,
rather than going with the law. They need to creativity.
cool.
So they need some creativity. So that's
Yeah,
how yeah. Again, it is a different topic.
yes,
uh, I come to the device, and this is how actually we already run that exam pad. Exam pad, the future is exam pad. We conducted few exams, like 5 exams in different three schools, 5 to 6
yeah,
exams in different three schools, and we gave the immediately. It's a purely it's writing based only. It's not like a tab will
yeah, yeah.
answer multiple choice. There is a lot
See,
of difference. I will tell you the reason. If you are going with a if you are going with the writing, it will enhance our creativity skills. It will
yeah,
enhance our motor skills. It will enhance our cognitive skills. If you are going with this selecting the options, multiple choice, I will tell you one example which has happened. Like when I am doing the MSET, the people are preparing very well for the MSET, and one guy came to me.
hmm,
So one guy came to me, and we, to be frank, I will say that we cracked one thing. One thing is that unset exam is 120 bits. So 120 bits, if you give for A completely A for 120, we'll get 40 marks.
40, easy.
We'll get 40 marks, easy 40 marks. So don't bother about what you know, learn. If you go for A, that is from the model papers we understood. If
Pattern
you
is
go
A.
with the pattern is A for complete thing, then you will get the 40 marks. If you don't know anything also, you'll get 40 marks. Second point. Second thing. First, what you can understand is that whether you need to prepare one subject perfectly and answer it.
Yeah.
One subject perfectly and answer it. One concept. So max is one, max A one, max BB one, and chemistry one, and so fix it. We'll get at least 1 2 bits. Choose that which concept is getting the more bits. If it is hard, also try for that one. So at least you will cover, if you one subject, if you will cover around 10 marks. Make sure that you should get the 10 marks. There's no doubt
Mm.
about it. 10 marks. Why? Because we are not trying for getting for the university. We are not trying to get for the university. We are trying to get a rank, that's it. Where you can get
Mm.
in a college. So that is the one thing we found. Second thing, go with the model papers by heart answers.
Yes.
That is only for
that
the one. That is only for the 2 units. Two
that is
units.
that is what most kids do, as I know. Yeah.
That is the two units. You need to make sure that to do. Why? Because identifying, remembering all the answers is very difficult. So that is the 2 units. If you cover for the 2 units, it is around 30 marks. So 30 marks. If it is answer question is varies, there is a chance of varying the question is the 70 to 30%. So
Mm.
70% they will repeat the same question. So there is a chances you will get another 25 marks.
Mm.
So here is the 35. And in the 35, figure it out which has the less options like A, B, C, D, which has the less A, less B, less C, less D. And make all the things as the remaining, which has the less. Suppose
Yeah.
in 30, I applied 30 marks, 30 marks I applied for, so A, I got only 5, B, I got 10, C, I got 10, and D, I got 8, something like that. Then I
Roll
will
the
go with
dice.
A.
Roll the
Roll
dice.
the A for everyone. So what it will happen? Definitely A. If you go for A, I will get definitely around 40 marks. There is no doubt about it. And remaining 40 plus 25. It's around 75. We get it 70. This is how the
See,
people crack this.
this is, I think, very interesting, which your Oslate can also, because as humans, we have a tendency while preparing question, first one comes the answer. Question paper setters, right, who prepare question papers, because you write the question, the immediate instinct is to write the answer as an option A. Probably that's one of the psychological reason why you get 40% A as a answer, right? Because we are very bad at generating random numbers, right? Or random
Okay.
options, and sometimes it's too vague or sometimes it's too close, which will
It's
confuse a
very
lot of
difficult
people.
to, if you make the random also, it is very difficult to evaluate the things.
Yes. So that's
So,
where I think what you are mentioning as a product within Oslate itself, the ability to reorganize options and questioning the same topic in a different way, right?
questioning in a different way, and we are removing the optioning. Like we don't want to show the answers to recognize the answer. Actually, if you show the
Yeah.
answers, we are trying to recognizing the answers. We are not
Yes.
trying to understand the concept. We are trying to recognize the answers. But here, there is no concept of recognize. They need to understand the concept and they need to write. Okay,
Yeah.
students may hate because of this one, but it's fine. At least
Yeah,
why?
because you
Because
are reducing the probability of answer by 25. Previously, it was 4 option, 25% they can get a right answer, right? Now,
exactly.
there is 0% they get a right answer.
0% they will get a right answer. And second thing is that everything is a descriptive summary type. So summary in the sense they need to express the what they need to.
Yes.
You will get to know that who is expressing very well, who are creative thinkers, and
Yeah.
who is different scenarios.
If I was in college or school or taking O slate, right, I would have hated you because I was an introvert. I never put my words together when writing an exam. I took the least possible. That's where I was doing better in
The problem
mathematics.
is that it's not a
Yeah.
problem with you. It's a problem with the people who didn't monitor you like that. You are an introvert, so you need to
Yeah.
be socialized. So if they trained you at the age of the
Oh my
five
God.
6 years, that is a different scenario. People will get okay. Let's say he's an introvert. He will become introvert. That is the one reason why people are becoming more introvert is that independent learning. Means, they are not going to schools. They are learning in
Online.
online, and they are learning that one. But how can they express the things what they learn without proper communication? Without this, so we can identify all these introverts initial stage only. So as per they are the 10 disorders we can identify using the writing.
Yeah.
We can initially itself we can trigger it out rather than cure. We can take the precautions. So this guy is going. So we need to involve him intentionally as a schools. Intentionally, they need to involve this particular introvert to a particular group. No one want to be intentionally became an introvert. Why? Because he didn't get a chance to speak with other people. He didn't get a good friendships or other thing. So some psychological attention they need it. So that's the
See,
fear. If I speak something, what it will happen. That is only the fear for the introvert to make sure to we need to break the ice, break that one.
yeah. See, this is why I started becoming extrovert, because in my mind I can spin a lot of wheels which probably I have never thought about before. Right, when I first heard about your product, hey, this is a gift for a kid, right? He can learn about himself, where he needs to improve as a natural process of humans being improvised or trying to get improved. This is a, gold mine where they can get immediate feedback. Second, it can, reduce teachers burden of setting question paper, making it difficult or too easy, or then validating those response and grading kids, right? And it's never easy, because you need to pay a lot of attention to grade people, because then it's going to create that journey of whether a good performer or a bad performer throughout their career, right? So that's a huge responsibility on teachers, which OSLate can evaluate. Then we spoke about what, how governments can get a valuable insight of where these kids are getting dropped out of schools, right? Because this is a huge boost when you look at a nationwide of any country, not only India are speaking about, to identify why the literacy is not getting. For example, in countries like Africa, it could be a gold mine for them to improve, or reduce student dropping out from education, right? Even in the US, there is a dropout rate that happens. If you understand the reason for why they're dropping out, you can develop a better policy to keep your literacy rates high. See, it is right. If you look at business terms, the literacy rate contributes to the economy, right? If you want to debate on why we should improve literacy rate, plain and simple, people who are educated get jobs, jobs generate taxes, taxes drive government, government can invest better, country develops, right? There is this whole cycle that education can add, plus it can also improve people's quality of life, right? There's no debate about why we need education, how it improves. But imagine 1 point of improving literacy in India can drive a huge difference in people's life. That's the most important aspect. And I feel couple of people who dropped out had a huge potential in their career, right? Either in sports or in, academics, but they couldn't get help in mathematics or science. They had to drop out, right? Because they're not feeling too comfortable, right? Hey, I'm failing in maths, education is not for me. I'm failing in science, I can't understand physics, so I'll drop out, right? That's a huge loss for any country or any personal, as a their personal career or their life, right? Which they are going to build in future. So that's
Strongly
what I
believe
see
this.
most impact. Now, the reason I say why I enjoy this kind of conversation is, now you just mentioned how we can deal with introverts, somebody like me when I was in kid, right? This can open up a new avenue for your market. How you can treat, you know PTSDs. Can you understand when people are answering their questions, do they have any traumatic syndromes that they expressed,
Exactly.
right? This is a huge boost in healthcare in assessing patients mental health, right? You
Exactly.
ask them,
That's
even if you go to any mental health specialist, the first thing they do is they evaluate based on your answers, state of things. And see, some of the times you hold back when you're talking to people. When you're writing, you're free flow, right?
most of the area. One thing I want to add: most of the teachers or parents are not aware of this one. This kid has a psychological disorders.
Yes.
It's after
So
going
this is
little
where
care.
this is where I see a huge potential in terms of public governments, stepping up, how your product can add value, how teacher students, that's by default, right? How even in healthcare, you can assess people by their answers, what they have written, right? This is a
Exactly.
standard practice in evaluating patients, right? Whether it's, talking to psychiatrist or evaluating a patient, they use question and answers. And when you give them a pen and paper like O Slate, which can give their liberty to express in words, because that's where people be more honest when they're writing rather than talking, right?
Exactly.
And they, because one, they're not interrupted by psychiatrist reactions to their responses, right? Because although they tend to maintain their professional, because sometimes they can give away clues of how they are responding, how they are reacting to it, right? And as a humans, you start to judge by the way they communicate. we can't
Exactly.
we can't turn that off, right? We are humans. If a person is communicating good, we value them high. If a person is communicating not so good, we value them low. That's how we are built by nature, and we tend to evaluate based on their communication, and that's where the whole language English communication loop plays in. I see a lot of potential. If you look at top high level students getting benefit, teachers getting benefit, healthcare professionals using to evaluate patients. A fourth one being the whole nation, or if you look at the impact that it can have global, just Google the numbers, right? Or chat GPT the numbers now, right? 1% high in literacy rates can do wonders for, countries
Absolutely.
and international economies. But yeah, it's a huge impact, man. What I can say is, I don't know how you came up with this idea, but it can do a lot of impact if you have the opportunity. I think
It's a
execute it well.
God blessing.
Yeah,
God
yeah,
blessing. God tested like anything.
yeah.
Even he's testing me whether I can survive on this one.
That is life, right? You are being evaluated every day.
Exactly. God is evaluating me. He's testing whether he is the right person to do these things. Whether
Yeah,
he is the
yeah.
right person.
One of the things I realized in my life is idea is, yeah, people are sitting with ideas. As you sat for 5 years, right? I sat for 2 or 3 years with the ideas that I am working on. Probably some of the ideas with me are like 10, 20 years when I was a kid. But we sit with ideas. It's eventually pays out whether you are on the right place, right time, right? Whether you get the right support within your network. Because one of the things that a lot of founders forget is you need to have a healthy personal life in order to professionally succeed, right? That is something many people don't speak about. Healthy personal life can give you freedom to explore in
Exactly.
professional. If you have a challenging personal life, your professional life also takes a hit because you can't focus, right? So those sort of things, which is amazing what you do, right? That's where I would like to give maximum reach for your product as possible, right? Because I see a lot of potential. Disclaimer, I don't get anything out of this, or because it's more about I'm learning personally, like what a simple solution that you are building somewhere within a remote place can make a global impact. That kind of opens up my mind to think bigger, see what we can do better, right? And that's what I enjoy about having these conversations.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So,
man, I
and
think
if it is possible in next session, I will say about why because I'm going with the government fundings and government schemes. Literally,
yeah.
I'm going deep into the government why because I want to understand the ecosystem of the Indian. So why because now I'm building for the people the tool and future these people will come back, come to the market. I need to give some other valuable product where how the Indian government will help to the startup ecosystem. I want to
See,
be everyone.
yeah, this is something I would like to highlight. Probably we do marketing stuff, right? I can ask my guys to, run a campaign around this because, see, to simplify for the shorts or the reels thing, right? Badri is building something called Oslate, which is in product of One Year Private Limited, which I see as a potential for, as you clearly mentioned, Kindle with a writing option, with a amazing backend of AI analyzed value of evaluating answers, AI evaluated questions to evaluate and provide personal recommendation to students and teachers. During the conversation, we also discovered that it could be a huge boost for identifying governments where the students are getting dropped out in their education journey, right? Whether it could be private, public, whatever. And eventually, it can also give an option within the healthcare, a benefit of evaluating patients for the doctors, right? What is the state of things that they've answered by looking at those answers, right? So these hold potential of changing uh, what I call as global economy, because imagine if governments use this data right and improve student dropout ratio or reduce student dropout ratio so that literacy rates become high, whether it's states, nation, or global countries that do it, can had a huge boost in economy. And that's where since you're looking for government funds, grants, whatever that can help you sustain, since you're bootstrap, I think you would definitely need a government push. Anybody in the audience who are looking also, if you see the value in it, just tag anybody who know can help him raise funds or get grants from the government, because this is a meaningful project with an impactful future, because anything that you do can become a trendsetter for the global giants to mimic and have something similar. Because one of the best things that I see is when the competition, eventually the customer is the winner. Yeah, but it is amazing, Badri, to chat with you. I think you're building something meaningful. I wish you all the best. Any way that I can help, I'll be happy to, step in and see whatever you need. But I would wish you all the best. And also, in the audience, have a look at something. If possible, I'll get a video from Badri, link from Badri, and I'll tag it in the description, because I think you're doing something that is very much in need now. Hopefully more people look at the idea and credit it, because that is something I can see it can add a lot more impact to the world, and especially the kids who are growing up, they can get a valuable, meaningful feedback to improve themselves.